Just a couple of miles from the path taken by the explorer De Anza when he discovered what was to become Silicon Valley is another valley, a valley that went for centuries nearly undiscovered. Secluded by rolling hills and dotted by ancient oaks is a community dedicated to recreation and relaxation. Today, a fortunate few call this private 1,500-acre valley home. The vistas of greens and fairways beckon. This is a lifestyle like no other. This is Silver Creek Valley Country Club. Projects of landmark status are not new to Shea. The family legacy in construction began in the 1880s, about 50 years after the signing of the original Spanish land grant for Silver Creek Valley. With projects like the Golden Gate Bridge and Hoover Dam in the history books, Shea applied its expertise as one of the nation's largest residential builders to the task of developing the most beautiful country club in the West. To accomplish this end, a team was formed by the visionaries at Shea Homes, the Dolan Group, master architect and planner, Ted Robinson, renowned golf course architect, and a host of experts responsible for some of the finest clubs in the world were gathered. It really began by walking the entire valley. Rolling hills, scores of oak trees, and 100-year-old rock walls were deemed off-limits. The natural contours of the land will define the neighborhoods and separate the community from the city beyond. The final feature used to create these enclaves is the golf course. Its greens and fairways create an exquisite backdrop for the tapestry of life.
As we conceive the architectural experience of Silver Creek, we conceive it as a series of events. Coming up Silver Creek Valley from San Jose area, you cross an area where you can see several golf fairways converging, and you go up a hill, and your next experience is of a very substantial bridge that crosses Silver Creek Valley Road. And this, in fact, is a bridge that links the two sides of the community together so that virtually all the circulation within Silver Creek Country Club is internal. You go under it, and then the gatehouse itself opens. It's a style that is Mediterranean and reflects the kind of lifestyle that we believe people have. It's a very, very nice place to live outside. There's a lot of indoor-outdoor activity and patios that flow from indoor spaces and so forth. Yet at the same time, they can't say, oh, it's French or oh, it's Spanish or something else. They just know there's a certain look. And we create that by synthesizing both the universal historic principles as well as local historic vernaculars into a unique but very complex and rich palette of materials. We want a complex one so that as people buy homes and build their own homes in Silver Creek, eventually you have very unique homes, but there's something about it all that says this is Silver Creek.
The National Golf Foundation tells us that we could build a new golf course every day and still not take care of the demand for the next 20 years. So I take the jobs that I think are going to be particularly interesting. Northern California, I've got quite a few around the Bay Area. I think I have about 5. I have Discovery Bay, Fountain Grove, Oakmont, Canyon Lakes, and Blackhawk. There are several different aspects of golf course design, and of course the first part is the physical part, the moving of the dirt, the solving of the drainage problems, the solving of the safety problems and the landscape problems, and this is what I call the physical end of the golf course. And of course the other end is the strategic end, which is the fun part of golf course architecture. It's actually laying out the holes, trying to create a different challenge. And I think the biggest challenge is to design a golf course that when you finish playing it, that every hole is distinctive and will stand out in your mind. And the number 18 is a dogleg left. It's a little over 400 yards, and it shoots to a high plateau, and then the tee shot is generally pretty level. And then it drops 30 feet to the green, and then we have cascading water going in both directions. And the water will drop as much as 25 vertical feet over cascading rocks. We design it so it's usually an easy bogey, but a more difficult par, so that the higher handicapper will enjoy the challenge and not become discouraged, but then there's going to be enough of a challenge there for the low handicapper that he'll want to come back and keep playing, because we give him the feeling that he can always come back and better his score. There are some fine clubs in the area, but I think this is going to be much greater test of golf. I think there's no question it'll be a much more spectacular golf course than anything that's been done, not only in San Jose, but the whole Bay Area.
The way the country club is laid out, it's up on a plateau. It's a 2-story club that you enter at the top level. As you enter the club, you drive under a porte-cochere. The rotunda has a double circular stairway that goes down. Immediately forward of you on the upper level is the grand ballroom, and then the main bar and lounge to one side, and they command, of course, a sweeping view. The club itself is designed in kind of a chevron pattern so that it can see both the 9th and the 18th, as well as the 1st and 10th, the practice green and the driving range, all in its foreground as it looks out over this view, even out into downtown San Jose. Essentially, the structure on the view side of the club is held all outboard of the glass, so that there's a line of Tuscan columns supporting the roof outside the glass, and the glass just floats for about 250 feet, just pure panoramic view from all the different formal dining room, bars, lounges, and so forth throughout the club. On the lower level is a mixed grill, pro shop, a men's and women's lounge, and they also capture that same view. The upper level can seat over 300 people for tournament awards, banquets, that kind of thing. So it is a full club. It is able to provide all the kinds of social functions, basically a full boat country club building can. It's probably most comparable as a country club community to Black Hawk Country Club. There will be some similarities, but of course it's, we worked very hard to give Silver Creek its own unique identity.
We saw the homes and we fell in love. We have been looking for quite some time, and we hadn't seen anything like this anywhere else in the Silicon Valley.
Actually, my first impression of Silver Creek was to rule out Silver Creek because my mother-in-law lives in Evergreen in the Villages. And sort of to placate her, I was just going to take a look at it because I thought it was too far. But when I rolled into Silver Creek, it was almost breathtaking. It was simply spectacular. And I went to the information pavilion, and there was just a sense of quality and a sense of people who knew what they were doing. It was put together very well.
We were the first family to move into Silver Creek Valley Country Club. The children have so much room to play. They walk down to the creek, they collect frogs. It's like living in the country.
I've never had so much fun playing golf in my life.
The golf course is beautiful. It's hard to believe for such a young golf course that it has such well-established greens. These compare to some of the better-known golf courses such as Pebble Beach and Spyglass. They're just absolutely gorgeous.
I'm into everything here, the golf, the tennis, the swimming, the biking, everything.
The thing we like most about living here are the neighbors. We've made so many new friends.
We were thrilled when we first moved in to recognize that our neighbors were diverse ethnically, culturally, nationally, and that's made a real thrill for us to live here in this community. It's a reflection of San Jose.
We looked at homes in Los Gatos and Saratoga, and for about the same price, we saw homes that were 25, 30 years old with about half the square footage.
It's not so much an investment, but it's the home that we plan on living in the rest of our lives.
My house is so beautiful. I never thought I'd have such a beautiful home. I can't wait to move in tomorrow.
The homes of Silver Creek Valley complement this grand location. The choices are vast, from custom estates with sweeping valley views to executive homes at Augusta and St. Andrews and the resort-style condominiums of Riviera. At Silver Creek Valley Country Club, it's easy to feel at home.
I've got a super view in the morning. I look out my shower window across the 14th fairway to a hillside of cows grazing. And I take lingering long showers as I stand there watching the cows. And it's become quite embarrassing to tell my coworkers that I'm late because I've been watching cows graze. Across